Hello, everybody. I am back from my Las Vegas vacation. Lots of fun, but I'm glad to be back in the great state of Texas making videos. Let's check this out from Rob Schmidt talking about Hillary Clinton wanting to deprogram Trump supporters. Check it out.
Basket of deplorables.
The MAGA Republicans represent an extremism.
We really need camps for adults.
All right. Election denier Hillary Clinton says that election-denying Trump supporters need to be deprogrammed. Clinton sat down with one of her biggest fans over at CNN, Christiane Amanpour, and made some comments that should terrify all of us.
So many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure.
Okay. No credibility left by any measure, this old hag says. This bitter old hag. No credibility. He's up 45% in the RCP average for the Republican nomination in 2024. Yes, 45%. If you round up 44.8. He's at 57% now in the polling average. That is crazy. Next closest is DeSantis at 12.6. Now, if you look over to the Trump versus Biden, he's up in RCP, 1.1% with the a few polls as of late showing him in the lead. What does she mean by no credibility left by any measure? Let's keep going here.
He's only in it for himself.
If anything, she has no credibility.
And when do they break with him? Because at some point, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to happen. And how do you?
Amanpour just loved Hillary's deprogramming idea. That's the soundbite that made, all the headlines, right? But there's actually one that I thought was even scarier. Hillary goes on in that interview to explain what makes Trump and Republican voters so dangerous. And she effectively says it's their pesky desire for freedom. Take a listen to this.
The base of the Republican Party sees in him someone who speaks for them. Make America Great Again was a bid for nostalgia, to return to a place where, people could be in charge of their lives, feel empowered, say what they want, insult whoever came.
Be in charge of their lives, say what they want, be empowered. You hear the, I guess, the snarkiness, whatever it is in her voice, like we're just a bunch of delusional cultists who want freedom.
Came in their way, and that was really attractive to a significant portion of the Republican base.
Yes, that really happened. Victor Davis Hanson joined us tonight to talk more about this. Sir, it's good to have you on. It's good to see you smile at this, but the idea that people might want to be in charge of their lives, to feel empowered, to say what they want. What a terrifying world that would be for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, it would. And what's really kind of scary is that just that sentiment blew up her 2016 campaign with the deplorables and irredeemable. This was kind of an elaboration, but it went further. And you think that she would have learned not to say things that destroy her viability as a spokesperson, much less a candidate. And she hasn't. She's doubled down on it. And this comes in the context, remember, with the Homeland Security are drafting known liars who lied under oath, James Clapper and John Brennan, to be an advisory group for internal security. And we have a technology now that allows what she's talking about to actually occur.
He's right. This is what she said like what she said in 2016 about the basket of deplorables. You can put Trump supporters in a basket of deplorables, whatever she said. And she's doubled down on that. She has not wavered. She's bitter, for one, that she lost to Trump in 2016. She thought she had it in the bag. 99% of people thought I think she had a 99% chance of winning, is what one outlet said, 99% chance. And she got electorally demolished by Donald Trump, surprisingly. And I had a little bit of hope left that he could actually pull it off, and he did. But anyway, You know, she's a dangerous woman. She's a very dangerous woman who, for her to think like this as a spokesperson of her party, she's very, well known in the Democrat Party. She has been for a long time. She's been a prominent figure in the Democrat Party. So what she says does have a lot of credibility to some people, but she's more irrelevant than anything, far more irrelevant than Donald Trump, who is the by far the front runner to win the nomination for 2024 on the Republican side. And he has a pretty good shot at winning if everything goes smoothly or if we overcome any shenanigans of winning the 2024 election. Now, this is what Dan Bongino had to say about this. Do you think it is a coincidence that Hillary Clinton came out with these statements right after it was made known that the FBI is secretly targeting Trump supporters ahead of 2024 election, labels MAGA followers as domestic violent extremists? Let's go to this video here.
First, Newsweek article comes out just the other day. We covered it yesterday. And in the Newsweek article that's portrayed as a leak from the FBI, says Trump supporters are going to be targeted ahead of the 2024 election as the FBI basically zeroes in on politics as a reason to investigate people. I had FBI whistleblower Kyle Seraphin on my show yesterday who said, if you don't think this is real and you don't think they're coming for you next, you're crazy. They've been working on this for a long time. I said to you, that's not a leak, that article. That's a warning. Why? If you were going to leak and you were a legitimate FBI whistleblower worried that the FBI was targeting Trump supporters, why the hell would you go to Newsweek? Why would you go to Newsweek? You'd come here. You go to Newsmax. You go to Breitbart. You go to Bongino Report. You don't go to Newsweek. You go.
He's probably right about that. You don't go to Newsweek. If you there's a whistleblower coming out saying that the FBI is going after Trump supporters ahead of the election, they're targeting Trump supporters, you would probably go on Dan's show. You would go to a conservative outlet where Republicans or Trump supporters are going to listen and watch, not Newsweek.
Go to Newsweek because you want to make it look like a leak when it really is a warning. Now, again, folks, big fake coincidence. I'm glad you all saw it in the chat. Hillary Clinton just magically appears in the media. You understand how you get it. I love you all being here early. You guys are and ladies are the early bird P1 hardcores right now. You all know this was not a coincidence. Hillary Clinton was sent out, whether because people in the Democrat Party had a wink and nod, or she just knows to do it, to reinforce this warning that you guys, if we lose this election, you are next. And the re-education process will begin whether you like it or not. Don't listen to me. Listen to Hillary. Check this out.
Very strong partisans in both parties in the past. And we had very bitter battles over all kinds of things, gun control and climate change and the economy and taxes. But there wasn't this little tail of extremism wagging the dog of the Republican Party as it is today. And sadly, so many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any.
All right, so we saw that, but this little portion of the tail wagging the dog of the Republican Party, this MAGA extremism, they use this a lot. You've heard Joe Biden talk about these MAGA Republicans, MAGA extremists, whatever they call them. You've heard this a lot from the other side, directly going after Trump supporters, the MAGA extremists, the January 6th people, which was the worst day in history, worse than 9/11. It's obvious that we're becoming a police state. At least one side is trying to turn this country into a police state. And I will be going to watch that movie by Bongino and Dinesh D'Souza. And apparently it's going to show a lot of things, but I'm looking forward to it coming out. But here's the report. Let's get into it a little bit more. This FBI report coming out says the FBI reportedly is secretly targeting supporters of former Donald Trump ahead of the 2024 election. according to a new report. During a 3-month investigation, Newsweek spoke to more than a dozen current or former government officials specializing in terrorism. The experts revealed that the FBI is covertly monitoring MAGA Republicans because the Domestic Intelligence Agency suspects that Trump supporters are the greatest threat of violence, possibly capable of starting a civil war, which is completely false. The greatest threat of violence would be the cartel members coming, trafficking people across the border, selling drugs, killing people, terrorists coming across the border, Al Qaeda, people like that, organizations like that. Those are the greatest threats of violence. How about the people in our inner cities wreaking havoc on people's lives? How about the people in inner city of Chicago, or even spilling out into the suburbs? You have places like D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. All these places are Memphis are being overrun by criminals. I'm not saying every place is terrible in these, but the crime is spiked in these cities in large amounts. Carjackings, rapes, burglary, things like that have all spiked in a lot of these major cities. The people that I'm sure a lot of these people marched, BLM rioted in 2020, and were partaking in these BLM marches after the George Floyd incident. I'm sure these people are far more dangerous than look. I said these people. Don't come after me, you woke leftists. Or you said these people. Yes, these people. These people are causing, wreaking havoc in our big cities. Yes, they are a threat to this country. They are a bigger threat than Trump supporters. Anyway, the in-depth probe reportedly found that the FBI clandestinely created a new category of violent domestic extremists that it intends to target, Make America Great Again followers. In October 2022, the FBI created a new subcategory of domestic terrorist labeled as AGAV, which stands for Anti-Government, Anti-Authority Violent Extremism. The new subcategory is a threat group that is not anarchist, a militia, or sovereign citizen groups. The new classification is officially defined as domestic violent extremists who cite anti-government or anti-authority motivations for violence or criminal activity, not otherwise defined, such as individuals motivated by a desire to commit violence against those with a real or perceived association with a specific political party or faction of a specific political party. Bam, there you go. That is it right there. They are talking about Trump supporters. Let's look at that again. Such as individuals motivated by a desire to commit violence against those with a real perceived association with a specific political party or a faction of a specific political party. And that's what Hillary said. You have this portion of the tail, this MAGA portion of the party wagging the dog. They're talking about nobody but you. The ones who support Donald Trump. This is actually pretty scary stuff. Actually, I do want to go back to Dan Bongino. He did say something here.
Measure. He's only in it for himself. He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions. And when do they break with him? Because at some point, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members.
Again, if you think this is a coincidence, you're on the wrong show. Folks, here's the thing about the Democrats. They don't need to be told what to do. They think with this hive mind. They're like the Borg from Star Trek. I didn't even watch Star Trek. However, I've heard about the Borg. A couple people told me they have like this hive mind.
I remember the Borg because my dad was a big Star Trek fan. And I do remember the Borg. I actually got a Borg ship for Christmas one time, a big square spaceship. It's actually pretty cool. But the Borg, they're programmed to think a certain way and do certain things. Yeah, that's like the left.
Mind like bees, right? That's the Democrats. They know exactly what to do. Everybody got the hint. Biden's DOJ got the hint. They knew to leak it to Newsweek, who got the hint, who gave the hint to Hillary, who gave the hint to the media that we're going to go out and scare the shit out of these people before the 2024 election so that they don't donate to candidates, they don't knock on doors, and hopefully they don't vote. I had a very good friend of mine reach out this morning on social media, very well connected. Hey, Dan, do we need to worry? I said, yeah. And don't talk on Twitter either. You can't trust any of these places. Folks, these people are not screwing around, man. It's not a joke. This is a warning. It's not a leak. Happened just yesterday. I woke up this morning, sent it over to them at 4 o'clock in the morning or something. I said, put this in the show first. I told you, be very careful. Don't be scared, just be careful. They want you scared. Do not fall in that trap. You don't take your country back now, you're not going to have one left, and then you're really going to be scared. Do what you need to do. Go volunteer. Show up at the rallies. Just be very careful. Recommend a lot of you get a backup phone. Go buy yourself a Cricket phone or something like that if they still make those things. I'm dead serious. It's that bad. Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Is it? I just read it in freaking Newsweek, dipshits, yesterday.
Okay, so Dan Bongino is I'm a big Bongino fan. I haven't hardly missed an episode the last few years. But anyway, he comes off as fear-mongering a lot of the times, but then there are times where he seems like he's being a little too extreme and, I need to calm down. But then again, some of these things do come to light that he talks about. And getting a different phone, I don't know about that. I don't know. He knows a lot of people that have connections. He has a lot of connections, so he hears and sees a lot of things that you and I don't see, and he reports to us on it. This is actually pretty scary. They are going after people who support Donald Trump, and this is very scary. You had Hillary Clinton saying you need to deprogram him. You have Biden calling Trump supports MAGA extremists. You know, it could discourage a lot of people to donate and to campaign for Trump. You see what happened with January 6th. You had people that didn't even really do anything. That was bad. The FBI showed up at their door. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty crazy. And look, like you said, if you don't take your country back now, you won't have a country at all, and it's going to be even worse. So get out there and volunteer with your local Republican Party. Vote for your great local conservative candidate, the most conservative candidate who's going to keep your city or your county a sanctuary the best as possible from being taken over by radical leftists. And it goes to the state level. Vote for a great governor, a great attorney generals who are going to defend freedom. The attorney generals and governors can step in, and a lieutenant governor can step in and do things to protect their citizens, which is why I love living in the state of Texas for various reasons. But that's another story for another day. So keep your eyes open, watch out, be careful what's going on. Don't panic, but just be careful and be vigilant, be active, and get out there and talk to people, get the message out, and vote in 2024 because this is absolutely crucial. We must save this country because we are going down a very dark place, as you have seen over the past couple of years. But all right, guys, thanks for listening. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.